Well, I'm joined now by the Prime Minister, David Cameron. Prime Minister, does it give you pause for thought that there's apparent rejoicing in the Yes campaign that you've come to Scotland? They say you're a liability to the Unionist cause.
Well, I think it's interesting they want to talk about the process rather than talk about the issues. I mean, I think people in Scotland understand that the independence referendum is a very simple and straightforward question. It's not about me, it's not about the Conservatives, it's not about the government. It's a question, do you want Scotland to stay in the United Kingdom or do you want Scotland to separate itself from the United Kingdom? That's the question, and I think people understand that, and those are the issues really we should be addressing. And I'm here to make an unrelentingly positive case for what we can achieve together as a family of nations.
It rather looks as if you do fear that you're a liability when you refuse to debate with Alex Salmond. I mean, why won't you take him on directly, face to face, if you've got an argument that you believe in and that's why you're here? Why don't you
for a very good reason, because the debate that needs to take place in Scotland, the TV debate that needs to take place, is between the leader of the No campaign and the leader of the Yes campaign.
Why?
Because effectively Scotland's being offered two futures, a future within the United Kingdom and a future separate from it. And the point is that I don't have a vote in this referendum.
But you're up here to talk to the Scots about it. You're talking to me about it. Why don't you debate with the man who everyone knows is your main opponent?
Well, no, because the main opponent to the Yes campaign is the No campaign, and the No campaign is led by Alistair Darling. I can understand why Alex Salmond wants to, again, talk about this process issue rather than the issues of jobs and how will Scotland and the rest of the United Kingdom be better off, how will be stronger, how will be safer. Those are the real issues. Alex Salmond wants to talk about this because he doesn't want to address the real issues, and he'd like the debate, but to be between me and him, so he can muddy the waters.
He says you're feared.
No, not at all. I debate and discuss these issues all the time.
Do you have full confidence in Alistair Darling?
Yes, I think the Better Together campaign is doing a very good job. It has the full support not just of my party, the Conservatives.
It doesn't have the full support of your party,
no,
does it? Many of your own MPs have expressed disappointment.
No, it has the full support of Conservatives, Labour, Liberal Democrats, people of all party and no party, and I think Alistair's doing an excellent job. They're making a very positive case for Scotland to stay in the United Kingdom, but they're also quite rightly warning of the risks of separation. And I don't think that we'd be doing our job as politicians if we didn't warn of some of those risks.
I'm sorry to press you on this, and I don't want to make it too personal, but it is a personal issue in terms of Alistair Darling's leadership and whether he is actually doing a good enough job for the Better Together campaign. Many of your MPs feel that he's not.
That's not what I hear from my MPs. What I hear is that support for the Better Together campaign. I think Alistair Darling is absolutely the right person to lead it. What I sense across all the parties is a real need now to get behind this very clear, very positive, very straightforward campaign where I think on the issues, and I hope we'll talk about some of the issues, is the United Kingdom safer and more prosperous and more secure with all the countries staying within it? Yes, it is. You know, we've seen in recent days very clear warnings from people like the Scottish Whisky Association, from financial services, from defence businesses, really addressing the issues of whether Scotland will be better off inside the United Kingdom. Those are the things we need to highlight and point to.
Was it a smart move of your Chancellor to threaten us with our banknotes running out under independence? Because polling evidence suggests time and again that comes across as bullying and it tends to push Scots the other way.
I don't agree with that. I mean, look, there's a great advantage of being in the United Kingdom is we share a currency, the pound sterling. It's been a success, and if we all stay together in the United Kingdom, we'll keep that currency as our currency. But I think it's quite right, not only for the Chancellor of the Exchequer, but also you've heard it very clearly from the head of the UK Treasury, the Governor of the Bank of England and others, that the way to retain the single currency for Scotland is to stay in the United Kingdom. And if you leave the United Kingdom, you leave the pound sterling. I think that's a very clear answer. And again, we wouldn't be doing our job properly if we didn't explain both the advantages of staying in the United Kingdom and working together, but also the risks and dangers of separation. Because I think, from everything I hear, people in Scotland want information, they want facts, they want evidence, and then they'll make their decision.
They also want to know what will happen after a potential no vote. If the people of Scotland reject independence, how will you make devolution work better?
Well, we will be producing the Strathclyde Commission report, which for the Conservative Party will put forward our ideas for further devolution. The Liberal Democrats and Labour, they're all putting ideas for further devolution. So I think there's an opportunity in the event of a no vote, the United Kingdom staying together. That's not the end of the road for devolution, it can be the start of more devolution. The way to end the road for devolution is to opt for separation. So I would want to work with other parties to bring forward proposals.
What do you feel? What do you feel Scotland needs to improve devolution for its people?
Well, I think there is a strong case for further powers to be devolved. We're going to have to wait for the Strathclyde Commission, which is going to be advising me about the right steps forward. But I think that's very important. I think people in Scotland really can get the best of both worlds, if you like, by staying within the United Kingdom, where we're all together, stronger, safer, more prosperous, better off in this competitive world, but also having the extra advantage of more self-government here in Scotland, making more decisions about the future. It is the best of both worlds, and that is really what the No campaign stands for.
Can you commit to more powers for Holyrood in your first Queen's speech if you win the independent campaign and the next Westminster election?
I can't guarantee a first Queen's speech, because I think that whoever wins the next election will obviously want to talk to other parties and make sure that we build cross-party consensus for further devolution. But I would say to people in Scotland, I said before the last election that we would go ahead with further devolution. We have done that. I've delivered on devolution, not just in Scotland, but also in Northern Ireland and in Wales. I really do believe in a united kingdom where we should have proper respect for the constituent nations of that family of nations as one of the important ways that we stay together in this modern world.
Well, you're talking about getting together with the other parties after the September vote. Wouldn't it have been better if you'd got a pan-unionist alliance going before the vote?
Well, we do have a pan-union alliance. It's called the Better Together campaign, and it's supported by all the political parties.
You haven't agreed on what you want to do after a no vote.
That's a fair point, but all the parties are producing their own ideas. You've seen ideas from Labour, you're seeing ideas from the Liberal Democrats, you'll have ideas from the Conservatives in the next few weeks. And I think people in Scotland will be able to see that all the parties who feel passionate about keeping our family of nations together are also passionate about further devolution, so that people who vote no know that they are actually voting not simply for the status quo, but for the best of both worlds, being able to make more decisions here in Scotland while remaining part of this extraordinary family of nations that has achieved such great things in the past and can achieve great things in the future. And I want one last point. I come here as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, passionate about our country, passionate about our United Kingdom, but also with a very clear message from the other countries of the United Kingdom, from England, from Wales, from Northern Ireland, all saying to the Scottish people, don't think we are disinterested in this. We're not. We want you to stay. That is the very clear message I get up and down the country.
So you're here to woo us rather than bash us in the head?
Well, no, I think it's important. I think Scottish people want to know, does the rest of the United Kingdom care about the outcome of this referendum? We absolutely do. And the very clear message is, we want you to stay.
Now, we've got a big football match coming up at the weekend. Who do you fancy for the Scottish Cup?
Well, I'm told that your political correspondent is a Dundee United fan, so I don't know whether that will put me in his good books. I'm afraid it's just, for me, it's yet another contest that Aston Villa aren't going to be involved in, so I will stay out.
Prime Minister David Cameron, thank you very much for